It's been over 2.5 years since we were last in Scotland, and in that time we've done a lot. We've travelled through European summer and winter, broke down a few times, and lived on a Portuguese farm for 3 months during lockdown. We've even been lucky enough to experience van life in a tiny caddy in Iceland and some off-road beasts in Costa Rica. But now we're back in Jits and very excited to be exploring the vastly epic Scotland, which even though is close to home, feels like another world. Subscribe to join us as we try to take our rusty old van around Europe for one last time. We started our trip by catching a ferry to the Isle of Mull, the second largest island of the Inner Hebrides. As we arrived, we were treated to a beautiful evening.
So we have arrived here, guys, at our first camping spot on the Isle of Mull, and it is stunning. It's so cool.
It's so cool.
Here we are. We're right up on the beach, and you're allowed to park here. You go to the farmer or whoever owns the land just around the corner. You pay £2 per person per night, and yeah, you get this absolutely dreamy spot. There are a couple of other campers. I don't know if you can see, they're down there.
Our future friends.
Future friends, our neighbours. And yeah, oh, it's just so nice to be back in Jits, to be wild camping again, to be back in Scotland, and yeah, it's the dream. First thing we do when we get to a new spot.
Make it into not a mess.
Yeah, sort Jits out, because she is a bit of a mess at the moment.
This is just van life reality. You live in a small space, so everything gets out of control very quickly.
But then it gets in control quite quickly too.
Yeah.
But look at this spot. Not a bad place for a little spring clean.
We couldn't think of a better way to start our Scotland road trip. There isn't anywhere we'd rather be than in our little van by the sea.
We've got everything we need in this tiny little van, and now we're living here.
We spent the following couple of days parked up at the beach, reacquainting ourselves with life in Jitters. Even though the sun was hiding behind the clouds, we made the most of the beautiful spot and took things slowly.
Goodbye.
We even squeezed in a cold water dip. Growing up, I'd always thought the beach was exclusively for sunny days, but over the last few years, I've grown to appreciate its beauty all year round.
So, the weather didn't stay particularly sunny and bright for too long here.
It's not really the summer we were hoping for.
It seems to change like every 5 minutes. It can go from like beautiful sunshine to rain and wind and grey clouds. It's remarkable.
Although they do say that there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing.
Just
so
bad
I've got
clothing.
my scarf in my house.
Eventually, it became time to leave our spot. I always find it hard peeling myself away from a spot I've come to think of as home.
Very exciting this morning because we are off to go and get a ferry and hopefully spot some puffins!
We caught the Staffa Tours boat and made our way to the Tresnish Isles.
We'll be ashore there for about 2.5 hours, take to go and see the puffins, guillemots, razorbills, and numerous other birds that inhabit.
As if on cue, as we arrived, the weather brightened up.
We have just landed on our first puffin island, and we're so excited. We've already seen some as we were coming in, and I've got my puffin spotting glasses on, so we're ready to go. We just got a bit of a scramble over the rocks now.
Yeah, and the puffins are so cute. They're so much smaller than we ever
Yeah.
imagined them to be.
They're tiny and they move really like in a really unique way. They don't just look like normal birds flying gracefully. They're kind of like
so
cute.
We made our way up the side of the cliff, towards the puffins. As soon as we walked around the corner, we were face to face with them.
Turns out I didn't need my glasses because you can get so close to them anyway that they're just there. You can't miss them.
As we walked a little further around the cliff tops, we came to what can only be described as a seabird city. Populated by puffins, kittiwakes and razorbills. We could have spent hours there bird watching.
Look how close you are, Tanya.
I'm so close, I can nearly... kiss them.
This is amazing. Look at all the puffins hanging out just here. They are just so relaxed about our presence. It's just so nice, and we can just get to spend our time just sitting around, wandering around the island and looking at these absolutely beautiful birds. They're so cute, and of course it's not just puffins. There are all these other ones here.
The
in the
razor
background.
bills and kittiwakes. And,
It's just, I love it.
This is the best. Puff love.
It is the best, and it's so funny watching puffins, the way they fly. They kind of look they look cute and a little bit awkward, kind of like bumblebees. You know how bumblebees don't look like they should be flying? That's sometimes what these guys look like. But look at them, just there, they're so cute.
One of the great things I love about this is that even though there's a boat full of people doing this tour, it really felt like we had the place to ourselves because there's just so much room, there's so many puffins to go around.
Puffins
great.
for everybody.
Yeah, you get a puffin, and you get a puffin, and we got puffins.
Our next stop was Staffa Island. As well as being the home to more puffins, it was also covered with basalt columns and had a very special cave. Due to its natural beauty, Staffa Island has attracted famous visitors throughout history, including Queen Victoria. The island was popularised by explorer Sir Joseph Banks, who later wrote, "Compared to this, what are the cathedrals and palaces built by men? Mere models or playthings, imitations as his work will always be when compared to those of nature." As we walked along the columns, we came around the corner to be faced with Fingal's Cave.
I've never seen anything quite like this. It's amazing. We've been to Giant's Causeway and a few other places where there have been basalt columns, but this for me is a bit more special.
Yeah, 100%. You just like feel the energy.
Yeah.
On our way back, the tour dropped us off at Iona, a tiny island that's only a short ferry ride back to Mull. We took our picnic to the beach and reflected on the day.
For those of you who have listened to the first episode of our new podcast, if you haven't, then the link is in the description below, you will know that the reason we are in Jitters, the reason we are doing van life, is all because of my mum. And you will also know that I lost mum to cancer in 2019, and I've been on my own journey of grief since then. And I think the most important thing about dealing with grief or anything like that is to talk about it. And that leads me really nicely on to today's video sponsor, which is BetterHelp. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and anybody can suffer from poor mental health. It's something that really needs to be looked after. So if you're someone who's suffering from low self-esteem, if you're having bad sleep, problems with your relationships, then I personally believe that talking about it is a first step to sorting out. BetterHelp offers online therapy sessions with licensed therapists, and you fill in a questionnaire so that all of your needs are assessed, and then within 48 hours you will get matched with a therapist. And in my opinion, the therapist you have is really important because you've got to have a good rapport and you've got to make sure that the connection is good to get the best help. That's why BetterHelp offer the opportunity to try and be matched free of charge with a different therapist until you find your perfect match. You can schedule secure, confidential video or phone sessions with your therapist at a time that suits you. You also have the ability to send text messages, as many as you want, and it's amazing because you don't have to worry about being in a waiting room, going to a specific place. You can do it wherever you are, whenever you want, and that is perfect for, well, pretty much everyone, but especially us because we're always on the road. It's more affordable and convenient than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available if you need it. So if you would like to get 10% off your first month, then click the link in our description or head over to betterhelp.com/jits, and that is betterhelp.com/jits. And that is it. Thank you very much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video.
Just as we were discussing our future plans with Jits, she pulled one of her signature moves and broke down.
So we seem to be having the exact same problem again. The engine will just cut out. It will just lose revs and cut out. So I've tried to tune the accelerator cable. I'm not sure if that's the actual word for it. Now the idle revs should be higher, so hopefully she won't just go for no reason. So we'll see how we go.
It's so stressful every time.
Every time, I don't know, it's the same problem that's just been persisting ever since Ireland, basically, our first trip over 2.5 years ago.
Jits has driven us along some beautiful roads, but she's broken down quite a few times too. In fact, we've been to the mechanics in almost every country we've visited.
This is definitely the really stressful part about living in a van.
An old van.
An old van, and in Jits, it's just, we're constantly having these mechanical issues. We're spending so much money going to different mechanics and it's just never fixed. And we were literally just spending time talking about all of the plans that we want to do with Jits.
Yeah.
And we were thinking, oh, let's drive her to Italy, wouldn't that be great? How can we drive her to Italy if she keeps stalling and she's unreliable? It's actually really stressful, so it's not nice.
It takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? If anyone out there has any tips on what this could be, please let us know in the comments, because we've been looking for a solution forever.
Yeah.
A basic rundown of the issue is when I can put the clutch down and I'm slowing down and I come to a stop and the engine will just cut out. That's basically the long and the short of it. She just runs out of revs. So I don't know, we just need help. Please, if anyone can fix Jits, reward money.
Jits seems to be running okay for the time being, but we weren't assuming anything. We left the Isle of Mull, and after an influx of recommendations from our Instagram community, we headed to Glencoe. The weather didn't look great, but we decided to embrace it and try our luck.
This is our view. Very wet, but still beautiful.
We've decided that we can't just sit around and wait for the Scottish weather to do what we want it to do. Otherwise we'd be waiting all year. So we are just going for it. We're going on a hike. We were hoping for a good forecast, but it's not a good forecast. It's rained about 4 times today so far, but we've had also bits of blue sky. We've had everything.
Yeah, so we've got our rain gear on. I've put on my ski trousers just in case. Lots of layers, loads of snacks. We've come prepared. And yeah, we're hoping for a good one.
Yeah, prepared for all the weather, ready to go, and hopefully there's some good views at the top, but we have absolutely no idea, and there's probably going to be loads of clouds, but you know, we're getting out there and we're just going to go for it.
As we marched up the hill, there was no sign of the rain setting in.
How are you finding it?
Warm. The sun has come out, and I think it was a mistake bringing my ski trousers. I was trying to repel the water, but the rain hasn't come just yet, and now I'm sweating underneath.
As we're getting closer to the top here, it's getting more scrambly and more rocky up here, and it just seems to go on forever. It's just up, up, up. It's relentless. Really good fun, but it is a challenging one. It's definitely tiring.
Don't wait for me, honey. Don't wait. 'Cause I'm always hidden. You're And I know
So we are climbing to the top of that thing, and it looks like a real scramble. But yeah, I thought we were nearly there, but I don't know if we are.
I don't think so.
We weren't the only ones heading up the trail.
Just to demonstrate how family friendly this hike is, we've just spotted an adventure pooch.
Hello, Adventure Pooch.
Ooh, little adventure.
Oh yeah, hello, hello, hello.
As is often the case with hikes, the last bit was the steepest but most rewarding. We could see the end and the views were beautiful.
I was just saying to Adam, asking him to remind me of how much I love doing these hikes. They always feel so much more intimidating than they are once you get up them. I just feel so good to be out. And I feel like I've just warmed into it because at the start of the hike, I was so sore already and I was like, I'm so unfit. And then now it's like, yes, I can do it. The adrenaline is kicked in.
We are coming up to the top now, guys. We are almost there, and we are ready for a sit down. Here we are, this is it, this is the top.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
In an amazing coincidence, we bumped into Johannes and Melody, who are part of our Patreon community. We spent the day together and they recommended that we visit a hidden treasure, the yew tree. Situated in Fortingall churchyard, the Fortingall yew is believed to be one of the oldest living things in Europe. It is thought to be between 3,000 and 9,000 years old.
It's so cool to be in the presence of this tree, because it's just so hard to comprehend that it has been alive for 5,000 years. It's actually really hard to comprehend how long 5,000 years is, let alone that this tree has been alive for that time, and to think what it's seen, what it's lived through. Yeah, it's amazing. We are preparing to leave Jits for one night.
For a date night.
For one night, we are going off to try and find a bothy. Or I say try and find, we know where it is. So we're going off to a bothy for one night. And they're incredible. Do you guys know what a bothy is? Well,
They'll find out.
you're about to find out. So did you know what a bothy was before seeing this?
We're already eating our snacks before we get there.
Literally eating our snacks as we're going out the door.
We walked for an hour alongside the loch until we got to the bothy, our home for the night.
That is so cool, isn't it?
It's our home for the night.
Bothies are described as places to camp without a tent. They're dotted all over Scotland and act as free accommodation to encourage nature lovers to get out there and sleep amongst the wilderness.
So here we are, guys. This is our first bothy experience. It's a really cool little building. It's really unique. I've never heard of anything like this before in my life. I don't know if there's anything like this anywhere else in the world. Let us know. Are there any other I've heard of shepherds' huts and things before. I don't know if there's something that's done in another country that's similar to this, but it's really cool. And there's no booking system. So there are other people here sometimes there aren't. And yeah, it's really cool, isn't it?
I love it. It feels like glamping.
Glamping, yeah. Free glamping.
Free glamping.
So we'll give you a bit of an idea of what it looks like in the bothy. This is one of the bedrooms. I think this is quite a big bothy compared to a lot of them. But you can see here that there is a double bunk here. You've got a little fireplace. There's loads of seats. They say for you to bring your own wood so you can start a fire. We did not do that. We were not very planned. But yeah, look at it, it's lovely. It's got all the basic things that you could need, except for a toilet.
Well, it actually gives you toilet instructions here. It says there you just have to dig a hole and bury your waste well away from bothy, water supply, and the shovel is provided. So there is a bathroom.
There you go, there is a bathroom.
We unpacked and settled into a room for the night. We made friends with our temporary roommates and marvelled at the beautiful secluded location of the bothy, exposed to the elements, surrounded by green. As the Scottish weather set in, we all got cosy by the fire. Luckily, someone else brought wood.
It's time to go to bed.
You sleepy?
Yeah, it's midnight and I'm all tipped up and I put my booties on and hopefully we get a good night's sleep even though we're sleeping on
Straight on the wood.
straight on the wood.
But yeah, look, that is our bed situation.
Yeah.
And the only light is the light from my phone. If I take it away, pitch black everywhere. And then we've just got this tiny little candle here. So that is it. That is the end of our first bothy experience. We're out into the Scottish rain.
We said goodbye to our friends.
Say goodbye to our friends. It was so nice, and we were just saying how, although when you turn up to a bothy, you like go, oh, I hope we get it to ourselves. I hope we get it to ourselves. Actually, having other people there really made the experience so much better because we were just all chilling out around the fire and having good chats, and
Just great energy.
yeah, you just get to meet people, and
That
that
you wouldn't have otherwise met apart from just showing up at the,
Yeah.
in a bothy in the middle of Scotland.
in the middle of Scotland, and that is of course one of the most amazing things about travelling is the meeting the people. So yeah, perfect. Such a lovely experience, and I'd recommend it to anyone who's thinking of doing it or didn't even know it existed before. Give it a go. It's such a nice way of camping and travelling, and it's free accommodation.
Yeah.
Oh God, we say this every time, but it's such a nice feeling coming back to Jits. It's like, it feels like coming home, and that's mad. And we were saying how sad it's going to be when we eventually have to say goodbye to Jits, because she really does mean a lot to us. It's going to be really sad. Because yeah, the feeling of coming back to her is just, I can't describe it other than the feeling of home. That's what it is.
One thing we'd wanted to do since our NC500 trip 2 years ago was to visit a whiskey distillery. So this trip, we were determined to make it happen. Thankfully, the team at Auchintushan Distillery agreed to give us a tour, and we got a behind-the-scenes look at how whiskey is made.
Wow, what an experience, guys.
So we're actually here experiencing part of the process of what it takes to make whiskey. This is the beginning part, and it's so cool. The machinery is amazing, and the smell that we're getting here is incredible.
Scotland exports 44 bottles of whiskey every second, making that about 1.3 billion every year. And at any one time, 22 million casks lie maturing in warehouses across Scotland, waiting to be discovered.
So we are here now, surrounded by about 1,500, I think a bit more than that, barrels of whiskey that isn't technically whiskey yet.
It's just maturing. It's brewing for like
It takes
10
3 years
or so.
before you can call it whiskey. But some of these will be here brewing for like 15 years, something like that. So yeah, it's amazing. And what have you got there, Tanya?
Whiskey straight out of a barrel. So, Slanchavar.
I'm driving, so
I'm testing.
And with that, I stole a barrel and we headed south.
So that is it for Scotland, and as if on cue, as soon as we've left, out comes the sun. It's really warm and it's lovely weather.
Yeah.
So
Shorts, t-shirts.
typical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talking of t-shirts, if you haven't noticed, there we
Jits.
go. That is our first line of JITS merch. We've been wearing it throughout the film because we're stress testing it, putting it through its paces, and
its washes to make sure that it stays super soft.
And yeah, so far it's been lovely.
Yeah, we are really excited to launch that soon. It's really important to us that it is just ethical and sustainable. So watch this space because that is dropping very soon.
That is coming very soon. And other news, we have just recently launched a podcast. We've released 2 episodes at the time of recording. By the time this is released, we should have our 3rd one out. And yeah, if you haven't already, then please do go check us out over there. We think it's a great complementary element to the films because it's a bit more of a behind the scenes, long form. We just chat away, don't we?
Yeah, we talk about our backstory, the things that we've learned throughout van life. We include questions from our Instagram community. So it really is just us having a conversation with each other and with you as well. So
Yeah.
we would love to see you there and the podcast.
Yeah, we really enjoyed podcasting. But that is it for Scotland. That is it for this film. So thank you so much for watching. If you still got this far, then we're very impressed with your dedication. Please give this film a thumbs up. It massively helps us out. And if you haven't already, subscribed, hit that bell, all the jazz. You know what you're doing. And we'll see you in the comment section.
See you in the comments. Bye!
Bye!
To find out what's next for JITS, listen to episode 3 of our new podcast. And a big thank you to everyone who has taken the time to listen. It is because of you that it reached number 5 in the UK podcast charts for travel and culture.